We watched our daughter die a little bit at a time for nearly 2.5 years. Janie was first followed at Penn State University and then at Duke University, where she died there at Duke. It's a hell of a thing, but about a week before she died, and these kids, when they have these serious illnesses, and they're smarter than people think they are. They know what's going on. Janie knew she was dying, and I walked into the room one day. She was sitting up on this windowsill. It was it had like a shelf there, and she was sitting there looking out the window, and I walked in the room, and she said, "Daddy, I want to talk to you." I said, "You okay? About what?" She said, "I want to talk to you about my funeral." That's a conversation that I don't think any parent should have to have. This past summer, we contracted with a law firm in June, and by August, we were seeing some things we didn't like. So we got rid of them. And then we went on a search for new representation. And we interviewed with about nine different law firms. And without exception, eight of the 9, they either interviewed with us via Zoom or on the phone, until we got in touch with this guy and his crowd, Michael Watts. He brought his whole team with him. I mean, that really impressed me. These guys were serious, all right? But during that meeting, Michael looked down at me. He was at one end of the conference table. I was at the other end. He looked at me and he said, "Jerry," he says, "is there any way that you could possibly take me on the base?" I said, "Yeah, sure." He goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm retired. I got an ID card. I can take anybody on the base I want, as long as you don't do something stupid or something wrong." And I said, "You can't film on there." So he looked at his chief of staff, Alicia, and he said, "Alicia, I want you to clear my calendar on this day, and this day." He said, we're going to come back to North Carolina, to Jacksonville. Jerry's going to take us on the base. Not one other lawyer that we had ever dealt with throughout my fight from this year is 25 years. Started in August of '97. Not one other law firm or lawyer ever asked me to take them on the base, to walk the ground, to see the housing areas, to see the contamination plumes and the monitoring wells. Camp Lejeune looks like a pincushion, but not one other lawyer ever asked us to take them on the base, to walk the ground.